Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Inking with Jay. This is Jay. Hold on, let me check the mic. Let me check the damn mic. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. We got it. We got it going. The mic's set. Hey, hey, hey. I'm do, re, mi, fa, so. Okay, we're good to go. I was just checking the mic right there. Anyways, hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Inking with Jay. This is Jay. Since I went over that review with the tech pens, now we're going to get in there. I'm going to show you a little demonstration on the tech pens. So we'll get in there. We'll take a look at some of the tools, and then we'll do some pen strokes and whatnot. I'll show you some some basic demo of the tech pens. So let's go on ahead and get started with this video. Come on, let's go. So now I'm going to get into the demonstration of the tech pens and the different tech pens that are here that I have to use. So first of all, before we even get started, there's one thing that most people don't know that you have to understand, is that whenever you use different type of ink pens and felt tip pens and brushes and stuff, is the thing you have to take into consideration the type of paper that you use. So the type of paper it's going to depend on how good the ink takes to the paper. So if you don't have the right kind of paper, I mean, if you're going to practice, then just use a regular piece of paper. That's no big deal. If you're just going to practice with them and just doodle and draw and do some little light sketches, regular paper's fine. But if you're gonna do like inking work and stuff, you're gonna want to get a thicker paper, because this paper is very thin. This is like regular copy paper that you would get from like the store, Office Depot or whatever. This is just regular paper, like for a printer. But if you want, you can take it a little higher and use a cardstock paper. I like this kind of paper. It's like a hammer. It's made by Hammer Mill, and it's a color copy paper, but it's a cardstock. Unlike this other paper right here that's just regular, this is a cardstock, and on the cardstock it'll take the inks way better. Like for practicing and stuff. I have used it before, like for drawings and random sketches and whatnot, and it's a good paper, not just for pens, but like for pencils. But for inking, this is really good. This is some good stuff right here. I like this paper because it's thick and it takes the ink, and it's a very smooth paper. This is a smooth surface to lay down inks. But if you're gonna do like commission work, or you're gonna do like something almost kind of like a little bit professional type, me personally, I would recommend getting a pad of the Bristol Paper. This is a Canson brand of Bristol right here, and the thing about Bristol is that it's a heavier stock of paper. See, this is 96 pounds, 9 by 12, 96 pounds of Bristol. Bristol is pretty much what the pros use, industry standard, because it is very, very thick paper. This is like heavy paper, and it's really good, and it's smooth and it's soft for inking. This is like the best they got. I mean, I don't know if this brand is the best. I bought this yesterday, but there's many types of Bristol out there. So the thing is, to find the one that works best for you and go for it, But for this video purpose only, I bought this to show you guys, and I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna show you the different what I'm talking about when you're using different types of paper when you're inking. But we'll get back to this in a minute. I just wanted to show you this. But let's get back to the regular paper here. And this paper right here, this is the regular photocopy paper. Just so that you know, because I know you probably can't really see the thickness of the paper. But this is the regular photocopy paper. And I'm going to show you the different, or actually the different pens I'm going to use for this demonstration. I'm going to use the Microns to start with because I like those the best, and I'll show you the different types of you know, pen strokes and whatnot, and how it comes out and how it lays on the paper. But so I'm going to show you, and I'm going to use the 8 because the 8's a little bigger. I'm going to probably have to zoom in here, but let's see, let me zoom in just enough for you guys so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that should be good right there. Alright, yeah, it's good. Alright, you can see the pen pretty good, right? This is an 8, so we're going to use the 8. So, like, whenever you're doing, you know, inking, you want to practice your strokes, you know? So just practice on a piece of paper and practice your strokes, you see? And once you practice, you'll be able to get a good line variation. But the thing is, on this kind of paper, like, let me pick up the paper and let me show you what I'm talking about, or let me get a little closer. It's that, let's see if you can see that. Can you guys see that? Okay, yeah, you can see it a little bit. Well, what I'm trying to show you is that on this type of line, whenever you ink on a regular piece of paper, like for a drawing or whatever, it's gonna feather. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but the lines will start to feather, and they'll feather off, and they make, it's like a really, like kind of like, looks like little fibers of hairs or whatever, but that's in the paper. That's not from what you are doing, that's just in the paper. So when you get a heavier, thicker, harder paper, like a cardstock, the paper, there's more fibers in it because it's been compressed more, and then when you put the ink down on that, it'll take it very, very softly. But what I'm just trying to show you here is just the different little fibers in there. I know it's kind of hard to kind of see it, guys, I'm sorry, but there's different fibers that are in this paper, and the ink will bleed sometimes. Like if you have really, really bad paper, trust me, you're gonna see the bleeding. It's gonna bleed out, you know, a lot on your edges, especially when you want that clean, crisp line. You know, you want that clean, crisp line, like solid line when you put it down. See, I'm pressing harder on here to get a better, thicker line instead of getting like a little feathered off. Yeah, see that right there? That right there. You can kind of barely see it. Now, the thing is, you probably can't see it in the video, but when you're practicing on your own at home, you're going to see the edges. They will start to feather off. And you're going to notice the little tiny fibers that are out there. Now, I mean, if you're just practicing in it and whatever at home, that's perfectly fine. If you know, seeing that, that's no big deal, you know, because you're just practicing, and that's okay. But when you're doing stuff professionally, like those comic guys, the inkers that are out there that do work professionally, they don't like that. That's not good unless you're going for an effect. Now, if you're trying to go for a certain effect on the paper, then yeah, by all means, you know, if you want that feathering or little fiber look, little edges on the side of your ink, that's fine. But if you want a clean, crisp line, like for a building or for like a weapon or something that has a straight edge, you don't want that. You don't want that little, you know, feathering line edges. You don't want those feathering edges. But so these are the different pens right here, like I said, that I use. And the thing is just to practice, just you know, practice. You can practice making lines on the paper, and that's what you want to do when you start. Because see, nobody told me that when you start to ink something that you know just make lines, just practice your lines. That's like the main thing for inkers. So just get out there and practice your lines, and just make lines. Just make lines. It's no big deal. Okay, so this is the 8, and you can see the the line weight on that, and the 5 is not really that different. The 5 micron down here, there's not really a big difference compared to the lines. It just depends on how much you want to press down on your pen. It depends on how much you want to press down on it. See, that's an 8. This is a 5, and it just depends on your pressure that you put down on the paper. I mean, the 5 can be as thick as the 8, because see, look, this is a 5 and this is an 8. There's really not much difference. It's just really, really minute, like very, very tiny difference between these two. This is the 8 and this is the 5, and it just depends on how much pressure you put down on the pen. As you can see, let me show you again with the 8. Okay, this is the 8, and let me show you right here. So this is putting a line down with the 8, and this is just me putting not too much pressure, just a little bit of pressure down, just a little bit, not too much. You see, that's the 8. Okay, so that's the 8, and this is the 5. Okay, so show you right here, the same pressure I'm putting from the 8 I'm putting on the 5, and you can see the difference already just by testing out the two. You see, show you guys, you see that? So this is the 8 and this is the 5, you see? And that's just me, I'm putting the same amount of pressure down. There's really no difference of the pressure that I'm putting down on the pen, and it gives you those different line weights. And like I said, it's just practice. Just keep practicing. And then here, I'll show you the 1. The 1's gonna be like super tiny, guys. Cover your pens. And that's another thing too. Also, always make sure that you recap your pens like really good. Don't just put the cap on there like that. Make sure that you snap it. You snap it back on there, because these pens will dry out very quickly. Trust me, they will. So just make sure they snap that back on there, okay? And this is the 1 right here. This is the 1. See? The 1. Okay, so that was it. That was the 5, right? And this is the 8, and this is the 1. It's going to be super tight. And I'm going to put the same amount of pressure down on the 1. And you're going to see the difference already between the 3 pins that I have here. Okay, so see, there you go, guys. There's the 1, there's the 5, and there's the 8. And you can already see the difference already on the different line weights, and that's the same pressure. I'm putting the same pressure down on all 3. I didn't change the pressure, my hand pressure that I'm putting on the pen. Like I said, and this is the effects that they can give you with the three different types for the 1, the 5, and the 8. And with those 3, you can pretty much like do pretty much your whole inking, like whatever you're inking with, from start to finish with just these 3. You don't need a whole arsenal of tools. With just a couple pins, you can create a lot of different effects. So like I was saying, guys, these are the different line weights and the different pressure that I'm using for all 3 pins. It's all the same. It's all the same pressure. There's no difference here. It's just the way I'm laying the ink down, and it'll give you the 3 different variations there, if you can see that. So these were the microns. You see, these are the micron pens. These are the different microns that I was using. for this particular little demonstration right here. See, the 1, the 5, and the 8. And these are the microns, and these right here, these are the ones that I really like to use. These pens right here. These are my go-tos when it comes to the tech pens. But like I said, these guys right here are a little bit more pricey. Like I said, they're like anywhere from $2 to $2.50 like a piece. And you know, like I said, these are really good. And the cool thing about these pens is they have color ones as well. And I'll get to those in a minute, but I want to show you the other ones that they have here that's part of this family. Let me see if let me grab these real quick, guys. So these are the different graphic ones, the Pigma graphics that they have that are with the Microns, the other Micron, the tech pens. These are still tech pens as well, but the tips are a little bigger. So there's the graphic 1. I think I was telling you guys earlier about these on the review. This is the graphic 2 right here, guys. This is the graphic 3, and the brush there. See. So let me show you the graphic 1. Let me show you this one real quick. The line's gonna be way bigger than the 8. Cause see, this is the 8 right here, the 8 that we did. But when you do the graphic 1, the line is very thick. Even if you just press down a little bit, the line's gonna be super thick. See, almost like a brush, almost, guys. You see that? And these are kind of like a felt tip almost. The little brush on there. I mean, the little tip. It's almost like a felt tip, like a felt fiber little brush on there. The tip. I'm sorry, guys. So these right here, I like these because the pressure you can put on them, and then you can get like a good line. But if you really press down on it, it'll make a solid. You see what I'm saying? A solid line. So you can see that there. That's the graphic 1 compared to the 8 right there. See the 8, and then there's a graphic 1 right there. You see? So that's kind of like the different variations in there. That's me pressing down a little farther. Now the thing is, I don't press down that hard on these pens, even though it may look like it. When you're starting, you don't want to like grip too much and put too much pressure down, because the little tip will wear down a lot faster. So just kind of take care of your tools. And you can grip however you like, but just don't, the pressure, you just kind of be careful, especially with these tech pens. And so that's the graphic 1 right there. The graphic 2 is like a chisel tip, almost has like a little chisel tip on there. You see the little chisel tip that it has for the graphic 2. Okay, so the cool thing about these is, like I was saying before, like you can turn it a certain way and you can get a line from thick to thin. Let's come up here, guys, on this piece of paper. So there's one line that you can have if you lay it flat and do the line, or you can turn it on its side like that, and you can make another line just the same, but it's a little lighter. You see, it's not as thick as the other line. So that's the cool thing about these chisels. These graphic 2s, which I call them chisel tips. They're really cool. I like these. These are really good for like doing borders, like on comic pages, like the outlines of the borders. You can also fill in areas, and you can get certain effects in there, like when you're doing your line work. Like you can do a line and then come down, and then do a line and then come down, do a line and come down. You see, with that chisel, that chisel's like, it's like, very, very cool, man. I like these pens. I like the graphic 2s and the graphic 3s. They're almost the same. They're pretty much almost the same type of like tip. It's just, this one's just a little bit bigger. It's just a little bit bigger. The line from these two are going to be a little different. Let me show you. So this is the 3. Let me show you guys. See, 3, the graphic 3, and putting the line down. See, See how thicker that is compared to the 2? This is the 3. And then if you turn it on its edge, it's got the same tip, guys. It's not really that much different. It's just a little bit chunkier, that tip right there. And then you turn on its side, you see it's the same. It's just like the 2. Okay, so there's the flat edge side of it, and then if you turn it on its side and make the line, you see that? Almost just like the other side. You see, it's almost the same, just a little different. It's just the chisel side, the flat chisel side is what gives you the different edge. And you, like I said, you can do the different effect again, you know, with what you're trying to do. You know, it's actually kind of cool. These are really cool, man. I like these graphic 3s and 2s, like the graphic pen tech pens I got for the Sakura brand. And they work really, really well. I like them. And like I said, this ink from these are, well, to me it seems like it's the best. Like it's the best kind of ink that you can use when you're gonna do some inking work like professionally. I would recommend these right here. And for fun too. You don't have to be professional. You don't have to be professional about it. You can just, you know, have fun. But like I said, these are really good. And the brush tip on this for the Sakura brand. This is the brush that I was telling you about, guys. Now, like I said, I used to use this when I first was starting, but as I've progressed more, you know, I use an actual brush, like a little paintbrush, but with a small tip on it. But this is the one that they give you when you buy the Sakura brand. This is a really good brush too. It's just that after a while, that brush tip right there, it will wear down quick, because that little brush, it's almost like a felt tip. It's almost like felt. It's not like a real brush like with the hairs. This is like a felt little brush. I mean, it's cool too. Let me show you right here, guys. This is a good spot. So the brush, it has some really cool effects. Look at that, guys. You see? This is a really, like I said, it's a really cool tool to start with. And like I said, they're all the same price. Doesn't matter which size you get, or if you get the brush or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. They all cost the same. But this, like when I was starting off, like I started with this. Actually, to tell you the truth, guys, I started with this tool when I was like trying to do brush stuff. I started with this. This is what I started with. So I'm sorry, guys, I can't really zoom in there. There we go. Yeah, I started with this. This tool was my go-to. I can't. It's crazy to say that, but this was my go-to when it came to like using brush stuff. And it took a while to get used to this thing. But when I did, I was doing okay. I wasn't doing like the best or whatever, but for what you can do with it, it's actually pretty cool. It's actually a pretty cool brush when it's like brand new, but once you wear it down, it's like some of the feathering. Let me show you guys. Some of that right there, it will like get really, really like almost like a dry brush effect when it's worn down enough. But like I was saying, it's a cool brush to start with. It's a cool little brush to start with, and I recommend it like when you're starting off or whatever. But if you want to go straight into using an actual brush, go for it, guys. Go for it. I'm all for, you know, taking that leap, you know, into whatever tool that you feel comfortable with, you know. So those are the Microns, and well, actually, you know what? Let me stay with the Microns right now. Let me stay with these, and I'm going to show you some of the color ones I got. I mean, it's the same type of pen, but it's going to be a colored one. This is the Micron 5, but it's the red. It's the red pen. The ink is kind of cool. I like this ink. It's really neat. And this is cool for like when you're doing like little effects, or you want to add red to a character or whatever, or like, you know, maybe some blood action or whatever, you know, like, you know, some blood or whatever, or like, you know, those burning red eyes, you know what I'm saying? This is cool. This is cool. I just barely started using some of these actually, but they're really neat. I like them. They have different colors. They range too. The colors range. This is a green 5, and make it look like Christmas up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's the you know, it's just the different colors I got, like the green and the red. But it's a pretty cool. I just wanted to show you these. I mean, because you know, I just barely started using them. But yeah, they're part of the Micron family too. And there's all kinds. The colors they vary. I think from like the red, green, purple, blue, yellow. I think orange. And I'm pretty sure they have some other colors too. But like I said, you can check those out. They're all the same price. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Kind of hit the camera a little bit. So those are the Microns. These right here I'm about to use. These are the Prismas that I was telling you about. Now they're okay. They're okay, but like I said, the ink. I don't know what it is about these guys. The ink is a little. Let me come up here. See, here's the Prisma. This is the 5. Now, most of these most of these technical pens, they're pretty much all they all run the same a little bit when it comes to like the tips, you know, because this is the tip for the Micron. I mean, for the Prisma, right? So, and here's the 5 tip for the Microns. You see, they're almost the same. Almost the same. There's really not much difference. It just depends on how the manufacturer makes them. You know, like the body looks different. You see, the body, but it's the same pen, almost the same exact pen. But the thing is, like I said, the ink in these they're a whole lot better than these right here. But I'm gonna show you anyways because you know, I'm just trying to say whatever tool you like, guys. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever you want to use for when you're inking stuff. And like I said, you know, the type of pressure you can put down. Oh yeah, this one I think is a little bit used up, but it's getting out. There's the ink that's getting out there. Now, you really probably can't notice this from the video, but I'm going to tell you that the ink for this pen compared to the ink for these other guys down here, there's a difference. There is a difference. On, like I said, whenever you're using them. But like I said, they're still cool. They're really good to use. They're not as expensive as the other ones. You know, those other ones, like I said, $2 to $2.50. These are gonna range probably anywhere from like, you know, maybe $2 to like $1.85 or something like that, or $1.80. I can't remember. You gotta go. Like I said, you can check at your local art store, or you can check online for these, and you know, you can make your own decision on these. But like I said, these are the Prisma ones, the Prismas, and the different ones I got. You know, that was a 5. This is a 3 right here. Let's see, I'm sorry guys. Let me see if I can zoom in. Kind of make that. Yeah, see here, this is the 3. Okay, this is the 3, and there's the 5. And then this is the 3. You see the difference already from the different lines, you know, compared to like let's see, the strong lines right here. Almost the same, but like I said, the pressure on the other ones just a little different. And this one right here, this is the 005. This is like the smallest tip they got, guys. This tip is like super tiny. Look at that compared to the 3. Look at this. Look at this. Compare that to the 3. And this is the 3 on the left side, and then on the right side is the 005. See that? See that, guys? That tip is like super tiny, and you got to be careful. You got to be really careful with these tips because they will break if you put too much pressure down. That's what I was saying, guys. Like when you use it, like when you're putting the pressure down, on it, you got to really be careful because that little tip right there, that little tiny, let's see, guys, that little tiny tip right there, it will break. And then, well, the crazy thing about that is that if you break it, you can get a cool effect on it. You can do a cool effect if it, you know, if it breaks and you're trying to lay the ink down. So let me show you right here. This is the 005 right here. Look how tiny that is, guys. Look how small that is compared to the other ones, the 3, the 5, and that's the 005 right there. See how tiny that is? So this is the 005 for the Prisma right here. This one, 005 right there, guys. So let me show you the last one that I have right here. This is the Le Pen brand, and the Le Pen brand, is another good one too. This is the cheapest one. Like I said, this is the cheapest. These are like $1.25 or like $1.15 or something like that. I can't remember. $1.20. 08. Yeah, 08. There you go, right here. So I'm gonna show you real quick before my camera dies. It's just like the other ones back up here, like for the Microns, but like I said, the ink is not as strong as the Microns. But like I said, you know, you be the judge of that. You find what you like. I mean, whatever works best for you guys. It's up to you. Like if you want to start off with these, start off with these. You know, they're super cheap, and you know, you can do the same effects. Like I said, the tips are the same with the others that they have. See the same kind of tip right there. You see that? Same kind of tip, just different style. You know, however they make them, the manufacturers or whatever. And this is the one. This is the one. Sorry guys, just because these are. And then there's the tip right there. See? So put this down right here by this. You see that? And like I said, guys, just practice this. You know, get a sheet of paper and then just practice. You know, you don't have to have, like I said, you don't have to buy the Bristol paper, which is the most expensive paper that they got. It's not that expensive, but it's, you know, if you're starting off, this stuff can get expensive when you start buying all these supplies. But like I said, just practice your lines. Get some pens, get some tech pens, and just start practicing away. You know, just start drawing stuff. You know, do whatever makes you feel happy. Yeah, just practice your lines and just keep at it. You know, just keep at it. Just keep, you know, practicing your lines. You know, you probably do a little cross hatching stuff. You know, just kind of whatever, guys. All right, so I'll try to put like a little link down at the bottom of the video somewhere, or just somewhere around the video, and you can go and go to that link, and you can check out the different tech pens that are available, and you know, you can make your decision on which ones you want to get. Like I said, the Microns are good. These are the best I like, and then we have the Prismas. See the Prismas, and the Le Pen by Marvy. Le Pen. It's pretty funny. So yeah, you know, I'll put a link and you can check it out and see which ones will work for you. But like I said, guys, just practice. Just get a sheet of paper and just start, you know, making lines, and just start practicing. Just doodle away, you know. And I'll talk to you guys a little later. All right. Have a good one. Thanks again to everyone out there for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts and what you would like to see in upcoming videos. Click that little bell for notifications. And as always, get out there, start inking away, find what works best for you, be good, talk to you later.